Song of Songs, chapter 8, verse 6. Place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death, its jealousy as enduring as the grave. Love flashes like fire, the brightest kind of flame. Abba, Father, thank you for the gift of love. Help us to love with purity, faithfulness, and devotion, just as you love us. In Jesus' name, amen. Today we will be meditating Solomon's Song of Songs, and with this book we will be completing the 5 poetic books of the Old Testament section. Now here we know that the author of Song of Songs is Solomon. He writes this to tell of the love between a bridegroom, who is King Solomon himself, and his bride, to affirm the sanctity of marriage and also to picture God's love for his people. So the original audience to which this was written were the people of Israel, and then he writes this in general to all of us as well. Probably he wrote this early in his reign. No, even to this day we see in our world it is saturated with stories of sexual escapades, secret rendezvous, and extramarital affairs. Today's news, entertainment, and social media aggressively promote the ideas that immorality means freedom. No, perversion is natural and commitment is old-fashioned. Sex, created by God and pronounced good in Eden, has been twisted, exploited, and turned into an urgent, illicit, casual, and self-gratifying activity. Love has turned into lust, giving into getting, and lasting commitment into no strings attached. Sexual intercourse, the physical and emotional union of male and female, is actually a holy means of celebrating love, producing children, and experiencing pleasure, and it is protected by the commitment of marriage. We know that God created sex and recognizes its importance. That's why scripture contains numerous guidelines for its use and warnings about its misuse as well. And sex, we know, is always mentioned in the context of a loving relationship between husband and wife. Perhaps the highlight of this is Song of Songs, the intimate story of a man and a woman that chronicles their love, courtship, and marriage. Solomon probably wrote this song in his youth before being overtaken by his own obsession with women, sex, and pleasure. A moving story, a drama, a poem, and this book, the Song of Songs, features the love dialogue between a young Israelite woman who is known as the woman of Shulam and her lover Solomon the king. They describe in intimate detail their feelings for each other and their longings to be together. Throughout the dialogue, sex and marriage are put in their proper God-given perspective. Much debate has raged over the meaning of the song. Some say it is an analogy of God's love for Israel or for the church. Others say it is a literal story about married love. In reality, it is both. A historical story with 2 layers of meaning. On one level, we learn about love, marriage, and sex. On the other level, we see God's overwhelming love for his people. As we read a Song of Songs, let us remember that we are loved by God, and let us commit ourselves to seeing life, sex, and marriage from God's point of view. So this entire book, which has 8 chapters, is divided into 7 sections. First, we see the wedding day, then the memories of courtship, then memories of engagement, a troubling dream, then praising the bride's beauty, then the bride's tender appeal. Finally, we see the power of love. Song of Songs is a wedding song honoring marriage. The most explicit statements on sex in the Bible can be found in this book. It has often been criticized through the centuries because of its sensuous language. The purity and sacredness of love represented here, however, we know that they are greatly needed in our day, in which distorted attitudes about love and marriage are commonplace. God created sex and intimacy, and they are holy and good when enjoyed within marriage. A husband and wife honor God when they love and enjoy each other. We begin this book in the first chapter with the wedding day. The Song of Songs is a series of 7 poems, not necessarily in chronological order. The interpreters have proposed various ways of reading these poems and seeing narrative connections between them. One reading views these poems as part of an overarching narrative that reflects upon the first meeting of Solomon and a peasant woman, their engagement, their wedding night, and the growth of their marriage after the wedding. In this narrative, if it is correct, it is possible that this woman was one of Solomon's actual wives, or that she is a metaphorical representation of his wives generally. This reading of the narrative goes something like this. One day, as Solomon was visiting some royal vineyards in the north, his royal entourage came by surprise upon a beautiful peasant woman tending the vines. Embarrassed, she ran from them, but Solomon could not forget her. Later, disguised as a shepherd, he returned to the vineyards and won her love. Then he revealed his true identity and asked her to return to Jerusalem with him. As this book begins, we come upon Solomon and his beloved being married at the palace. This book features 4 characters or groups of characters: the young woman, Solomon, the young man, the young women of Jerusalem, and the young woman's brother. The young woman who caught Solomon's attention may have been from Shulam, which is a farming community about 60 miles north of Jerusalem. Her tanned skin indicates that she probably worked outside in the vineyards. Thus, she was likely not from the upper class. The young women of Jerusalem likely include either members of Solomon's harem or workers in his palace. Verse 1. This is Solomon's Song of Songs, more wonderful than any other. This vivid description of a love relationship begins with a picture of love itself. Love is sweeter than wine. It makes the lovers rejoice. God created us out of love and gave love to us as a great gift. We see this in the wedding day. Solomon, a son of King David, became king and was chosen by God to build the temple in Jerusalem. God gave him extraordinary wisdom. Much of Solomon's reign was characterized by wisdom and reverence for God. Although toward the end of his life, he became proud and turned away from God. So let us read about Solomon here in a new light. We know that Solomon wrote and collected more than 3,000 proverbs and over 1,000 songs. Some of these songs form this book, Song of Songs. Verse 2 onwards, we will see young woman. Kiss me and kiss me again, for your love is sweeter than wine. How pleasing is your fragrance. Your name is like the spreading fragrance of scented oils. No wonder all the young women love you. Take me with you. Come, let's run. The king has brought me into his bedroom. Then from 4th verse onwards, we see the young women of Jerusalem speaking. How happy we are for you, O king. We praise your love even more than wine. Then the young woman speaks. How right they are to adore you. I am dark but beautiful, O women of Jerusalem, dark as the tents of Kedar, dark as the curtains of Solomon's tents. Now, Kedar, we know, was a nomadic community in northern Arabia. It was known for its tents, which were woven from black goat hair. Verse 6. Don't stare at me because I am dark. The sun has darkened my skin. My brothers were angry with me. They forced me to care for their vineyards, so I couldn't care for myself, my own vineyard. Now, the vineyard mentioned here was apparently owned by Solomon, because he came to visit that vineyard and was leased to the woman's brother, who made her tend the vineyards in the hot sun. Thus, she could not protect her skin by staying in the shade, because she says here, I couldn't care for myself, my own vineyard. Now, when she was brought to Jerusalem, she was embarrassed about her tanned complexion, because the women in the city had the fair, delicate skin that was considered much more beautiful in that day. But Solomon loved her dark skin. No, let us consider how we look as a gift from God, and develop the kind of inner beauty that God delights in. We see here how the young woman felt insecure of being different in appearance and background from the women of Jerusalem, and at being alone while her lover was away. She longed for the security of his presence. Now, verse 7, tell me, my love, where are you leading your flock today? Where will you rest your sheep at noon? For why should I wander like a prostitute among your friends and their flocks? 8th verse onwards, we see the young man speaking. If you don't know, O most beautiful woman, follow the trail of my flock and graze your young goats by the shepherd's tents. You are as exciting, my darling, as a mare among Pharaoh's stallions. How lovely are your cheeks! Your earrings, set them afire. How lovely is your neck, enhanced by a string of jewels. We will make for you earrings of gold and beads of silver. Verse 12 onwards, it's a young woman speaking. The king is lying on his couch, enchanted by the fragrance of my perfume. My lover is like a sachet of myrrh lying between my breasts. He is like a bouquet of sweet henna blossoms from the vineyards of Ain Gedi. Here, Ain Gedi was an oasis which was hidden at the base of rugged limestone cliffs west of the Dead Sea. It was known for its springs of water, fruitful palm trees, and fragrant balsam oil. The terrain surrounding Ain Gedi is some of the most desolate in Palestine and has an extremely hot desert climate. When in bloom, henna shrubs are covered with bright yellow flowers, and at Ain Gedi, these would have appeared all the more beautiful because of their stark desert surroundings. Thus, the woman was complimenting Solomon's looks, saying that he stood out among all other men. Now, verse 15 onwards, the young man speaks. How beautiful you are, my darling. How beautiful. Your eyes are like doves. 16th verse onwards, the young woman is speaking. You are so handsome, my love, pleasing beyond words. The soft grass is our bed. Fragrant cedar branches are the beams of our house, and pleasant smelling firs are the rafters. Here, the young woman describes the woodland surroundings as a wedding bedroom. Now, chapter 2, the first verse, we see the young woman speaking. I am the spring crocus blooming on the Sharon plain, the lily of the valley. The spring crocus and the lily are flowers commonly found in Israel. Perhaps the young woman was saying, I am not so special, I am just an ordinary flower. To which Solomon replied, oh no, you are extraordinarily a lily among thistles. Now, Solomon used the language of love here. Nothing is more vital to a lasting relationship than encouraging and appreciating the person we love. So let's be sure to tell our spouse that we love every day and show that love by our actions. Now, verse 2, like a lily among thistles is my darling among young women. Like the finest apple tree in the orchard is my lover among other young men. I sit in his delightful shade and taste his delicious fruit. He escorts me to the banquet hall. It's obvious how much he loves me. Now, the relationship displayed between the young woman and the young man in these songs is an artful representation of how God intends for men and women to relate to each other in marriage. In marriage, God wants us to nurture the desire for each spouse to give wholeheartedly to the other. Husband and wife should watch out for each other, strengthen each other, and find delight in simple acts of love. Now, verse 5, strengthen me with raisin cakes, refresh me with apples, for I am weak with love. His left arm is under my head, and his right arm embraces me. Promise me, O women of Jerusalem, by the gazelles and wild deer, not to awaken love until the time is right. The young woman encourages her friends not to awaken love until the time is right, because she wants to warn them against leaping too quickly into an intense romantic relationship like the one she shares with the young man. The joy and excitement of new love can cause our emotions to quickly spin out of control and get ahead of the healthy development of a committed relationship. It's easy to let our feelings and desires run away with us, but God, as the ultimate author of His word, expresses this charge to be patient and deliberate 3 times in this book. We see this phrase again in 3rd chapter 5th verse and 8th chapter 4th verse. Unmarried men and women should not rush into marriage and sex before they have allowed a relationship to develop healthfully. And in the company and counsel of wise peers and mentors. Romantic love creates emotions that can overpower reason. Young people are too often in a hurry to develop an intimate relationship based on their strong feelings, but feelings aren't enough to support a long-lasting relationship. This verse encourages us not to let the feelings of love grow faster than the commitment needed to make love last. Patiently waiting for feelings of love and commitment to develop together is the right and the biblical way. From 2nd chapter 8th verse onwards, we are going to see the second poem here, which is about memories of courtship. Now, in this section, Solomon's bride reflects on her courtship with Solomon. The young man speaks candidly here about how he delights in her beauty and wants to be with her. The young man wants to spend time with her, not just for her physical beauty, which he eloquently celebrates, but also for her delightful companionship. Verse 8, I hear my lover coming. He is leaping over the mountains, bounding over the hills. My lover is like a swift gazelle or a young stag. Look, there he is behind the wall, looking through the window, peering into the room. My lover said to me, rise up, my darling. Come away with me, my fair one. Look, the winter is past and the rains are over and gone. The flowers are springing up. The season of singing birds has come, and the cooing of turtle doves fills the air. The fig trees are forming young fruit, and the fragrant grapevines are blossoming. Rise up, my darling. Come away with me, my fair one. Now, the lovers celebrate their joy of being in love during springtime, when nature comes alive again. God created the world, the beauty we see, and the joy of love and sex, and He gave us senses to enjoy them. So let us never let problems, conflicts, or ravages of time ruin our ability to enjoy God's gifts. Let us take time to enjoy the world God has created. Now, verse 14 onwards, the young man speaks. My dove is hiding behind the rocks, behind an outcrop on the cliff. Let me see your face. Let me hear your voice, for your voice is pleasant and your face is lovely. Then the 15th verse, the young women of Jerusalem. Catch all the foxes, those little foxes, before they ruin the vineyard of love, for the grapevines are blossoming. The little foxes are an example of the kinds of problems that can disturb or destroy a relationship. The young women of Jerusalem wanted anything that could potentially cause problems between lovers to be removed. Now, often the little foxes cause the biggest problems in marriage. These irritations must not be minimized or ignored, but rather identified so that together a couple can deal with them. Verse 16, the young woman speaks here. My lover is mine and I am his. He browses among the lilies before the dawn breezes blow and the night shadows flee. Return to me, my love, like a gazelle or a young stag on the rugged mountains. Chapter 3, the young woman is speaking here. This young woman desperately wanted to be with her lover. This poem shows that her desire for him was so intense that she was willing to risk her personal safety to go out into the city at night to search for him. We all have a deep longing to be needed and desired. If we have been married for a while, we still desire for our spouse. If so, let us make sure to tell him or her. If our desires has waned away, let's ask God to give us a deep desire and longing for our spouse. Like the two lovers are drawn to one another, so Jesus is drawn to his people. Paul paints a beautiful picture of the deep love and desire Jesus has for his bride, the church, which is to be model for a kind of desire husbands and wives should have for each other. Paul writes this in Ephesians chapter 5. Many think that in these verses the young woman is recalling a dream that caused her to become so concerned about her lover's whereabouts that she arose in the middle of the night to search for him. When one loves someone, they will do all that they can to ensure the safety of that person and care for his or her needs, even at a cost to personal comfort. This shows up most often in small actions, like offering to get our spouse a glass of water or leaving work early to attend a function that our child is involved in, or even sacrificing personal comfort to tend to the needs of a friend. Verse 1. One night, as I lay in bed, I yearned for my lover. I yearned for him, but he did not come. So I said to myself, I will get up and roam the city, searching in all its streets and squares. I will search for the one I love. So I searched everywhere, but did not find him. The watchmen stopped me as they made their rounds and asked, Have you seen the one I love? Then scarcely had I left them when I found my love. I caught and held him tightly. Then I brought him to my mother's house, into my mother's bed, where I had been conceived. Promise me, O women of Jerusalem, by the gazelles and wild deer, not to awaken love until the time is right. Again, the young woman expressed her desire for her lover, which was so strong that she would leave her home to search for him. She looked for him at night, a dangerous time to walk around the city. The description of this event ends with the second warning, not to awaken love until the time is right. In marriage, spouses are to love one another enough to be willing to sacrifice their health and well-being for the other. Young woman warns her friends again that they should not rush into such a relationship. Verse 6 onwards, we see the third poem here, which is about the memories of engagement. Here, the scene changes. Some believe that the wedding procession is described here, the wedding night and the consummation of the marriage in the end. Now, another possible explanation is that the period of Solomon's engagement to the young woman is being remembered. In the previous section, Solomon and the young woman fell in love. And in this section, Solomon returns to her in all his royal splendor, expresses his great love for her, and then proposes. So the young woman joyfully accepts, and Solomon celebrates with great exuberance. Verse 6, here the young women of Jerusalem are speaking. Who is this sweeping in from the wilderness like a cloud of smoke? Who is it, fragrant with myrrh and frankincense and every kind of spice? Look, it is Solomon's carriage, surrounded by 60 heroic men, the best of Israel's soldiers. They are all skilled swordsmen, experienced warriors. Each wears a sword on his thigh, ready to defend the king against an attack in the night. King Solomon's carriage is built of wood imported from Lebanon. Now, Solomon's carriage in this case was probably a covered and curtained couch on which a single passenger would be carried on men's shoulders. Verse 10. Its posts are silver, its canopy gold, its cushions are purple. It was decorated with love by the young women of Jerusalem. So 11th verse, the young woman speaks here. Come out to see King Solomon, young women of Jerusalem. He wears the crown his mother gave him on his wedding day, his most joyous day. 4th chapter, the young man speaks here. You are beautiful, my darling, beautiful beyond words. Your eyes are like doves behind your veil. Your hair falls in waves like a flock of goats winding down the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are as white as sheep, recently shorn and freshly washed. Your smile is flawless, each tooth matched with its twin. Your lips are like scarlet ribbon. Your mouth is inviting. Your cheeks are like rosy pomegranates behind your veil. Your neck is as beautiful as the Tower of David, jeweled with the shields of 1,000 heroes. Your breasts are like two fawns, twin fawns of a gazelle, grazing among the lilies. Before the dawn breezes blow and the night shadows flee, I will hurry to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. You are altogether beautiful, my darling, beautiful in every way. We feel like awkward onlookers when we read this intensely private and intimate exchange. In the ecstasy of their love, the lovers praise each other using beautiful imagery. Their words may seem strange to readers from a different culture, but their intense feelings of love and admiration are universal. Communicating love and expressing admiration in both words and actions can enhance every marriage for life and enables couples to experience the deepest possible joy and sexual intimacy. Verse 8. Come with me from Lebanon, my bride. Come with me from Lebanon. Come down from Mount Amana, from the peaks of Senir and Hermon, where the lions have their dens and leopards live among the hills. You have captured my heart, my treasure, my bride. You hold it hostage with one glance of your eyes, with a single jewel of your necklace. Your love delights me, my treasure, my bride. Your love is better than wine, your perfume more fragrant than spices. Your lips are as sweet as nectar, my bride. Honey and milk are under your tongue. Your clothes are scented like the cedars of Lebanon. You are my private garden, my treasure, my bride, a secluded spring, a hidden fountain. In comparing his bride to a private garden, Solomon was praising her virginity. Virginity, considered old-fashioned by many in today's culture, has always been God's plan for unmarried people, and with good reason, because sex without marriage is cheap, lacks sacred intimacy, and destroys trust. It cannot compare with the peace, security, and trust of giving oneself completely to the one who is totally committed, to the other in marriage. Verse 13. Your thighs shelter a paradise of pomegranates with rare spices, henna with nard and saffron, fragrant calamus and cinnamon, with all the trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, and every other lovely spice. You are a garden fountain, a well of fresh water streaming down from Lebanon's mountains. Now, Solomon's bride was as refreshing to him as a garden fountain or mountain stream. Now, sometimes the familiarity that comes with marriage causes us to forget the overwhelming feelings of love and refreshment we share at the beginning. Many marriages could use a course in refreshing. We partners in marriage should continually work at refreshing each other with things like an encouraging word, an unexpected gift, a change of pace, a surprise call or note, or even withholding discussions of certain problems until the proper time. One spouse needs to be a haven of refreshment because the rest of the world usually isn't. Verse 16. Here we can see the young woman speaking. Awake, north wind, rise up, south wind, blow on my garden and spread its fragrance all around. Come into your garden, my love, taste its finest fruits. We see the young man speaking here in the 5th chapter, 1st verse. I have entered my garden, my treasure, my bride. I gather myrrh with my spices and eat honeycomb with my honey. I drink wine with my milk. O lover and beloved, eat and drink. Yes, drink deeply of your love. From second verse onwards, we see the fourth poem here of a troubling dream. This new section tells how the couple's marriage grew and matured in spite of their problems. Some time had passed since the wedding, and the girl felt as though some indifference had developed in their relationship. She had become cool to her husband's advances, and by the time she changed her mind and decided to respond to him, he had become distracted by other things. Her self-centeredness and impatience, though brief, caused separation, but she quickly moved to correct the problem by searching for her husband. Verse 2, the young woman is speaking here. With the passing of time and the routine of familiarity, we know that a marriage can begin to lose its initial sparkle. Glances and touches no longer produce the same emotional response. Conflicts and pressures may creep in, causing one to lose their tenderness toward their spouse. The world is not a haven for lovers. In fact, external stress often works against marriages, but spouses can learn to be havens for each other. If intimacy and passion decline, let us remember that they can be renewed and regenerated. If you find yourself in this place with your husband or wife, take time to remember those first thrills and the excitement of sex, your spouse's strengths, and the commitment you made. So when one focuses on the positives, reconciliation and renewal can result out of it. Verse 2, I slept, but my heart was awake when I heard my lovers knocking and calling. Open to me, my treasure, my darling, my dove, my perfect one. My head is drenched with dew, my hair with the dampness of the night. But I responded, I have taken off my robe. Should I get dressed again? I have washed my feet. Should I get them soiled? My lover tried to unlatch the door, and my heart thrilled within me. I jumped up to open the door for my love, and my hands dripped with perfume. My fingers dripped with lovely myrrh. As I pulled back the bolt, I opened to my lover, but he was gone. My heart sank. I searched for him, but could not find him anywhere. I called to him, but there was no reply. The night watchmen found me as they made their rounds. They beat and bruised me and stripped off my veil, those watchmen on the walls. Now, for the second time in this story, this young woman searches for her lover. She was alone outside during the night. In Old Testament times, she would have been looked upon as a criminal or a prostitute and treated as such. The image in this verse symbolizes the pain she felt at being separated from her lover. Longing for love can lead us to take risks we would not ordinarily take, like entering into dangerous situations. So when you find yourself desperate for love, stop and consider whether your behavior is appropriately matched by the object of your affection. Now, verse 8, make this promise, O women of Jerusalem. If you find my lover, tell him I am weak with love. 9th verse, the young women of Jerusalem speak. Why is your lover better than all others, O woman of rare beauty? What makes your lover so special that we must promise this? Then the young woman is speaking. Verse 10, my lover is dark and dazzling, better than 10,000 others. His head is finest gold, his wavy hair is black as a raven, his eyes sparkle like doves beside springs of water. They are set like jewels washed in milk. His cheeks are like gardens of spices, giving off fragrance. His lips are like lilies, perfumed with myrrh. His arms are like rounded bars of gold, set with beryl. His body is like bright ivory, glowing with lapis lazuli. His legs are like marble pillars, set in sockets of finest gold. His posture is stately, like the noble cedars of Lebanon. His mouth is sweetness itself. He is desirable in every way. Such, O women of Jerusalem, is my lover, my friend. Now the young woman calls Solomon her her friend. In a healthy marriage, lovers are also good friends. Too often, people begin marriage with the exciting feelings of love and passion before they take the time to develop deep friendship. Now, this involves listening, sharing, and showing understanding for the other's likes and dislikes. So let us stay open to our spouse. Both of you are always changing in little ways. So contented companionship takes time, but it makes marriage much deeper and far more satisfying. In chapter 6, we see the young women of Jerusalem speaking. Where has your lover gone, O woman of rare beauty? Which way did he turn, so we can help you find him? Second verse onwards, a young woman is speaking. My lover has gone down to his garden, to his spice beds, to browse in the gardens and gather the lilies. I am my lover's, and my lover is mine. He browses among the lilies. Now, the young woman said that she and her lover belonged to each other. They had given themselves to each other unreservedly. No matter how close we may be to our parents or our best friends, only in marriage can we realize the complete union of mind, heart, and body. Verse 4 onwards, it's the fifth poem here about praising the bride's beauty. The young man speaks here. You are beautiful, my darling, like the lovely city of Tirzah. Yes, as beautiful as Jerusalem, as majestic as an army with billowing banners. Now, Tirzah was a city about 35 miles northwest of Jerusalem. Its name means pleasure or beauty. Jeroboam made Tirzah the first capital of the divided northern kingdom. The fact that the young woman was as majestic as an army with billowing banners, that means that she had awe-inspiring beauty like a mighty army preparing for battle. Verse 5, turn your eyes away, for they overpower me. Your hair falls in waves like a flock of goats winding down the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are as white as sheep that are freshly washed. Your smile is flawless, each tooth matched with its twin. Your cheeks are like rosy pomegranates behind your veil. Even among 60 queens and 80 concubines and countless young women, I would still choose my dove, my perfect one, the favorite of her mother, dearly loved by the one who bore her. The young women see her and praise her. Even queens and royal concubines sing her praises. Solomon did indeed have many queens, wives, and concubines. Polygamy is not condoned in the Bible, we know that, though it was common in ancient cultures. Solomon said that his love for this woman had not diminished since their wedding night, even though many other women were available to him. Part of a vibrant, intimate marriage involves avoiding being complacent and instead remaining intentionally faithful to one's spouse, even when the years are long and hard. Now, verse 10, who is this, arising like the dawn, as far as the moon, as bright as the sun, as majestic as an army with billowing banners? 11th verse onwards, the young woman speaks. I went down to the grove of walnut trees and out to the valley to see the new spring growth, to see whether the grapevines had budded or the pomegranates were in bloom. Before I realized it, my strong desires had taken me to the chariot of a noble man. 13th verse onwards, the young women of Jerusalem speak. Return, return to us, O maid of Shulam. Come back, that we may see you again. A young man speaks. Why do you stare at this young woman of Shulam as she moves so gracefully between two lines of dancers? 7th chapter, 1st verse. How beautiful are your sandaled feet, O queenly maiden. Your rounded thighs are like jewels, the work of a skilled craftsman. Your navel is perfectly formed like a goblet filled with mixed wine. Between your thighs lies a mound of wheat bordered with lilies. Your breasts are like two fawns, twin fawns of a gazelle. Your neck is as beautiful as an ivory tower. Your eyes are like the sparkling pools in Heshbon by the gate of Beth Rabbim. Your nose is as fine as the tower of Lebanon overlooking Damascus. Your head is as majestic as Mount Carmel, and the sheen of your hair radiates royalty. The king is held captive by its tresses. Here, the description of the young woman's eyes are like sparkling pools in Heshbon suggests that they were bright and shining. Heshbon was the ancient capital of the Amorites. Beth Rabbim may have been a gate of Heshbon. Now, the Tower of Lebanon may have been a watchtower. If so, it was evidently a prominent one and seen as very beautiful. Alternatively, some suggest that this is a reference to the mountains of Lebanon. Mount Carmel overlooks the Mediterranean Sea and northern Palestine geographically. So verse 5, "Oh, how beautiful you are, how pleasing my love, how full of delights. You are slender like a palm tree, and your breasts are like clusters of fruit. I said, I will climb the palm tree and take hold of its fruit. May your breasts be like grape clusters, and the fragrance of your breath like apples. May your kisses be as exciting as the best wine." From here onwards, 9th verse onwards, it's the 6th poem here where Solomon speaks of the bride's tender appeal, and the young woman is speaking here. "Yes, wine that goes down smoothly for my lover, flowing gently over lips and teeth. I am my lover's, and he claims me as his own. Come, my love, let us go out to the fields and spend the night among the wild flowers. Let us get up early and go to the vineyards to see if the grapevines have budded, if the blossoms have opened, and if the pomegranates have bloomed. There I will give you my love. There the mandrakes give off their fragrance, and the finest fruits are at our door, new delights as well as old, which I have saved for you, my lover." As marriage matures, intimacy and vulnerability between marriage partners should increase. Now, several times throughout these poems, the woman takes the initiative in lovemaking. Many cultures have stereotypes of the roles men and women play in lovemaking, but the security of true love gives both marriage partners the freedom to initiate acts of love and express their true feelings. Let's not try to get into a rut during lovemaking. Instead, think of different ways to express love for the spouse. Now, verse 13, we see how parts of the mandrake plant were thought in ancient times to increase desire and fertility. We know these mandrakes were also mentioned in Genesis chapter 30 with Leah and Rachel. Chapter 8, the young woman speaks. "Oh, I wish you were my brother, who nursed at my mother's breast. Then I could kiss you no matter who was watching, and no one would criticize me." Now, in the ancient Middle East, it was improper to show public affection except between family members. So the young woman was wishing that she could freely show affection to her lover, even in public. Now, verse 2, "I would bring you to my childhood home, and there you would teach me. I would give you spiced wine to drink, my sweet pomegranate wine. Your left arm would be under my head, and your right arm would embrace me. Promise me, O women of Jerusalem, not to awaken love until the time is right." Now, this is for the third time. We are warned not to rush into marriage. Many unmarried people today want to experience all the delights and comforts of marriage, like living together and having sex before they are married. This refrain warns us not to let our desires leap ahead of our commitment and the relationship's maturity. It is still a timely warning for today. So let's remain pure and wait patiently to fully express love. Verse 5. Here it's the last poem beginning, the power of love. The young women of Jerusalem speak here. Verse 5. "Who is this sweeping in from the desert, leaning on her lover?" The young woman is speaking. "I aroused you under the apple tree where your mother gave you birth, where in great pain she delivered you. Place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death, its jealousy as enduring as the grave. Love flashes flashes like fire, the brightest kind of flame. Many waters cannot quench love, nor can rivers drown it. If a man tried to buy love with all his wealth, his offer would be utterly scorned. In this final description of the couple's love, the young woman includes some of love's significant characteristics. We have seen in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, love is as strong as death. It cannot be killed by time or disaster. Love is priceless. Even the richest king cannot buy it. Love must be accepted as a gift from God and then shared within the guidelines God provides. So if you are married, accept the love of your spouse as God's gift and strive to make your love a reflection of the perfect love that comes from God Himself. Verse 8 onwards, we see the young woman's brothers speaking here. The young woman's brothers are reflecting on the days when the young woman was younger and under their care. At the time, they wondered how to help her prepare for marriage. They decided that if she remained a virgin before marriage, standing firm like a wall against sexual temptation, they would praise her. But if she was like a door open to immorality, they would take steps to guard her from doing something foolish. The young woman testifies that she was persistent in her morality and thus found favor in Solomon's eyes. Now, verse 8, we have a little sister, too young to have breasts. What will we do for her, our sister? If someone asks to marry her, if she is a virgin like a wall, we will protect her with a silver tower. But if she is promiscuous like a swinging door, we will block her door with a cedar bar. The 10th verse onwards, the young woman is speaking. I was a virgin like a wall. Now my breasts are like towers. When my lover looks at me, he is delighted with what he sees. Solomon has a vineyard at Baal Hamon, which is he leases out to tenant farmers. Each of them pays 1,000 pieces of silver for harvesting its fruit. But my vineyard is mine to give. And Solomon need not pay 1,000 pieces of silver, but I will give 200 pieces to those who care for its vines. Now, Solomon could demand rent from the tenants for his vineyard, but the woman had her own vineyard and she had the right to assign it, but she willingly gave Solomon its fruit. A good marriage has no private property, for everything is shared between the husband and wife. This village of Baal Hamon is mentioned only here in the Bible, and its location is not known. Verse 13, young man is speaking here. Oh, my darling, lingering in the gardens, your companions are fortunate to hear your voice. Let me hear it too. 14th verse, a young woman speaks. Come away, my love, be like a gazelle or a young stag on the mountains of spices. Now, the love between Solomon and his bride did not diminish in intensity after their wedding night. The lovers relied on each other and kept no secrets from each other. They related to each other openly. Love, respect, and commitment were key to their relationship, just as they are in our relationships with our spouses and with God. Now, the faithfulness of our marital love should reflect God's perfect faithfulness to us. Paul later showed how marriages represent Christ's relationship with his church in Ephesians chapter 5. And John also pictured the second coming as a great marriage feast for Christ and his bride, his faithful followers. Now, many theologians have thought that the Song of Songs is an allegory showing Christ's love for his church. A more likely explanation, however, is that it is a series of love poems about a real human love relationship, and that all loving marriages are reflections of God's love for us.